Hi everyone, I'm Stephen and welcome to Watch Out. I'm continuing this series of vlog videos on this Seagull ST3600 just to practice my own technique, getting better at the skills I need for being successful in this hobby. And today I'm going to do a full teardown of the movement, just fully disassemble it, that's it. My intention is to do this real time so that you'll be able to see how long it actually takes, and I hope to name each part as I go as well. So this is the dial washer, which puts tension between the movement and the dial. This is the hour wheel. I'm taking these off first because they have a tendency to fall out. There's nothing actually holding them on when the dial is not in place. Okay. So now I just need to make sure that there's no power in the watch. I don't believe there is, but we'll just do that. There we go, no power in the watch. And now balance complete will come off. So this is kind of like the heartbeat of the watch. This is actually what determines how fast the movement oscillates, because basically that's what it is. It's a mechanical oscillator. Okay. Such a big movement, it needs big screwdrivers. We do want to try to avoid, it's one thing I'm trying to practice, is avoid screwdrivers slipping like that, because it will put a nasty scratch in the metal, which is not nice. Okay, so this is the ratchet wheel, and you can tell because it has this square hole in it, and notice the top is recessed, the bottom is not, so it has to go back on this way up. And then underneath that there, that's the mainspring barrel, which has all the power. Okay. Now this is the crown wheel, because it interfaces directly with the crown. And it's reverse thread, usually it's reverse thread. This one is. If I'd have kind of like put too much force in it and it didn't turn, then I'd know it's not reverse thread. But it is reverse thread. Now, notice it's got this little ring here, which sits there, and then the wheel itself comes out. I said the wheel comes out. Sometimes just a little bit of vodka just does the trick, because I just want to check very quickly sometimes there's a chamfer from the teeth, but it's pretty obvious which way is up anyway. That's the bottom. This is the top with the recess. Okay. Now this here is the click, which is actually what makes that kind of ratcheting click feel when you wind the watch. It's this little, this tooth, I guess you'd call it, interfacing with the teeth on the ratchet wheel. And then there's just a little round kind of spring in there. You can see one end here just hooks onto the back of the ratchet, and then the other end just goes in that hole. So it's really quite simple. Take that out. Okay, so now we can take the barrel bridge off. There we are, it's the barrel bridge. Now we take the train wheel bridge off. Now this arrangement is just a little bit different to what I've worked on before, in that well, actually, correction. I'll take the pallet fork out next. Oops, it's just jumped out of the holder. So this movement has never been apart before. It has just got that bit of resistance in all the screws telling me that they've never been out before. Here we go. It's the pallet fork out. Okay. So the arrangement's a little bit unusual because the escape wheel, this wheel down here, has got its own little bridge, and I've not seen that before. Not that I've worked on many movements, but in all the videos I've watched and all the movements that I've worked on, it's been a separate bridge. Sorry, it hasn't been a separate bridge. It's been part of the train wheel bridge. So I really don't know why it is its own separate bridge in this case, but there you go. There we go, that's the escape wheel. We can always tell it's the escape wheel because it has those funny shaped teeth which are critical to how it interfaces with the pallet fork, allowing the pallet fork jewels to slide over those feet in a very controlled way, which is how we control the movement of the watch. So now this is a train wheel bridge. Rather long and skinny, this one. Another way to do this is like this. It's just that my fingers get in the way of the microscope when I do that, but it's probably a little bit more secure. Okay, that's 3 screws out. There's little slots in the base of these things that I can just slide a screwdriver in there and get them out quite easily. So let's see if our wheels will come out now. That one won't come out yet, which you'll see why in a tick. But this is the 4th wheel. And this is the 3rd wheel. And this is the mainspring barrel. There we go. I'm not actually going to take that apart in this video because I want to do a different video for that one. Okay, I think that's everything we can do on this side for now. So let's flip it over. Okay. Find the right size screwdriver. That's better. Okay, so this is the setting lever spring. which also usually doubles as like a cover plate. So that's it, we've just got to disengage him from that notch. Oops, he's a little bit springy, but up he comes. Now, this is the yoke spring, and it does like to fly away, so I'll get it out as soon as I can. There we go. So what that spring does is it makes this part here, which is the yoke, want to slide back this way. And so the yoke sits in there. You can see how this sliding clutch here engages with this wheel here in that position and disengages when it's in that position. So the spring wants the default to be here. And then this here, when that moves to there, it forces it over there. And that's done with the crown. See how the crown moves that lever like so? That's how you change between, this is winding position, that's hand setting position. And it forces this lever here to move. And then the default is there, which is winding position. Alright. So this is the yoke. Then we've got these like intermediate wheels. Which are going to be a bit hard to grab hold of. I believe they're identical. There's one. There's two. And this is the minute wheel. Okay, so this here is the Canon Pinion, which is the interface between the train of wheels on the other side and the motion works on this side, which is what controls or drives the hands. And it's force fitted, but it actually needs to be able to slide. If it can't slide, then the watch will not run. So I have this special tool here. Which rather unimaginatively is called a Canon Pinion removal tool. So that's off and the wheel just wants to fall out. Gee, there's a heap of oil in there, a huge amount of oil. Alright, well I just need to flip it, the movement over again anyway. Yeah, That wheel just fell out. That's the center wheel falling out. Put that with the other wheels. So we now just need to undo this screw which holds the setting lever in place. It must be put back in position before the train wheel bridge goes on. It's very easy to forget to do that, think that you've done a wonderful job putting the train wheel back together, train wheels on, and then now this can come out. Our winding stem is out. And then, yeah, discover you have to take it all apart again. Sliding clutch. The other one that I took out just before the sliding clutch was called the winding pinion. And there it is. There's the setting lever. And I think we are done. There are a couple of very minor things that are not done yet, which I don't normally do at this point anyway. So there's this jewel here, which is for the bottom pivot of the balance. I normally just leave that in and clean it later, take it out separately and clean it later. And also I didn't disassemble the mainspring barrel. That would need to be done as well. And also there's another jewel in the top of the balance. But apart from that, this is actually fully apart. So we now have just our main plate, all the parts out. Hopefully that gives you a good idea as to what's involved in tearing a movement down and what all of the parts are. I can assure you that getting them all back together is a lot harder than getting them all apart. But hopefully this video has been enjoyable for you. Please do subscribe to my channel. It means so much to me. I've got a Patreon if you want to support my work. It supports both of my channels. Audio Nautica, which is about hi-fi and some nautical content. And this channel, Watch Out. I do love to read your comments down below and give me a like if you've enjoyed this content. Thanks so much for coming along, and don't forget to watch out. Bye for now.